Our session 2 for EDU 485. I'm Brianne Ballard, your professor, and I love this course. I wrote this course, and so I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist with my background being working with children for quite some time and in the school setting. And so for many years I saw what was working in the school system and then what wasn't working. And one thing that I think across the board was what could be improved on was the social emotional learning aspect in schools. And so I have had a pleasure to write this course and love sharing this stuff with you guys. And so really what you're going to get out of this course is not only like why it's so important to grow these skills and for for yourself and for your students, but also I'm going to give you not just the why, I'm going to also give you the how, so how you can teach this to the children. And so I'm going to just start in our Blackboard to kind of go over what it's going to look like. I know some of you guys are already in here. That's wonderful, working on some things. And I'm going to go over the syllabus for you and the calendar. And so let me get in here. So here you will find this video will be here. I'm in student preview, so you won't see the spot for it just yet. We have a welcome letter, we have a week 1 discussion board, and then we have our introductions discussion board. Okay, and then I just have a little meet your professor, so you can kind of put a face to the voice. And then we have our syllabus and calendar you can download, and or you can just open it here and look on it on the Blackboard. And then we have a class norms to also complete as well on Jamboard. And then your lectures, just in 2 parts for this week. I'm going to go over the syllabus first. It's opening real slow right now. Sorry, guys. You can just open it on my computer. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so I am adjunct faculty, and so I don't have an office on campus, but if you ever did want to make an appointment in person, that's no problem for me. I live nearby if you guys do also. And then we can also make appointments for Zoom if needed. If not, for quick questions, you guys can email me. It's bballard@laverne.edu. These are student learning outcomes that I would love for you guys to go over on your own time. They're very helpful to review and see what we will be accomplishing this semester. We have one required book, which is the Beyond Behavior Management. It is I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out why it says this. Oh, that's below there. Okay, so this course, this book is pretty inexpensive. You guys can find it used. And then we have the California Preschool Learning Foundations. We use this as well through the course, and you can access it through this link. So if you guys want a physical copy, you can, or you can just access the link. And then this class is, we're talking about sometimes harder topics and in the social emotional realm. And so it's important that we respect each other, we are inclusive, and we, keep what's said in our discussion boards there and not leave that room. Okay. And in terms of, you guys can please review all of our resources we have here at University of Laverne on your own time. And then I just kind of want to get into assignments and expectations. And so all papers need to be in APA format. So they would include a title page. And I know typically we have to paste the rubric at the end of the assignment, but no need to, as I will be actually, yes, please copy and paste the rubric at the end of your assignment. I was going to say this class is quite larger than other ones I've done, and so I usually save one for each student on my drive, but this would probably be more efficient this way. Okay. So in terms of late work, for this course, we follow the Child Development Program policy for late work. If you're not familiar with it, essentially it's up to my discretion to receive any late assignment. So please reach out to me if something's happening. And if you are able to submit it late, then it would be 25% deducted. And then we can discuss, how far out. Typically, it will only be accepted 1 week past the due date. So please reach out and let me know what's going on, okay? I am big, though, on submitting stuff on time. So please make the class a priority. I would say that one thing that I do value is treating class kind of like employment, right? So we can't tell a boss like, oh, I didn't know where to find this, so I, couldn't do it in time, right? It's your job to figure out how things need to be done or where. I'm always available, so communication is key if you are confused along the way. But it is your job in the course to submit things on time. And so I am also aware things come up. So if anything does come up, that is when you reach out and you would use this late work policy, okay? Now, in terms of our weekly work in class, which is our discussion boards, our journals, jam boards, anything like that, you cannot pass the class if you miss more than 1 week of those. And so it would be an automatic fail. Why? Because it would be essentially like missing more than 1 week of class in person. Right? And since it's a 8-week class, it's already very fast paced. And so missing more than that would be you're missing a huge chunk of the course. And so that just wouldn't be acceptable. So let's see. Get going. Here's our breakdown for our points. And then here, so before I go into our main assignment, I want to go over our weekly, I'm going to go over what our class kind of looks like. So let me pull up our calendar. This is ours. And so you'll see this in Blackboard, and then you can see it here. And so each week I will be opening up the online class module for that week on Sundays at 9 a.m. to kind of give you an extra day to be working on it for the week. And then everything for that week would be due the following Sunday by the end of the day. Okay. And then assignments, same thing. Everything is due Sundays. So I kept it a little vague here in terms of what discussion boards and journals will be due each week in our calendar, only because sometimes I think I'll find maybe a deficit in the course. Essentially, I like to update things pretty frequently. And so sometimes maybe by week 2, I'm like, ooh, I found a really cool article we can do some work on. That would fit in well, week 4. And so that would be now our discussion board. And so I like to keep it a little vague for that purpose. But it will be, by the time you get to your Blackboard module for that week, it wouldn't be so vague, right? It would be very detailed and you'll see everything you need to do. So no need to worry about that. Our calendar does include when our main assignments are due. So if you see here, one of our main assignments is due April 21st, and then so on. And I give you some reminders as well. And so this course, what it really goes over is all of the life domains, and that are all under the social emotional development umbrella. And even our course textbook, which is really cool, it has a lot of hands-on work and a lot of tools you can take right into the classroom. So that's really wonderful. Now to go back to our main assignments. So I like to I've broken your project down into 3 parts. And so you're kind of working on it all semester as opposed to this one huge project due at the end. And you'll be completing it in parts just to kind of help you guys out and it not to feel as overwhelming. And so your part 1 is completing a self-reflection paper. And yes, I grade on, how well it's written, how well it's edited and things like that. But what I am also really looking for is how much depth you go into your prompts, how reflective you are. And I'll say this, if you are having a hard time answering the prompts within this 4-page requirement, then you're not going deep enough. And so I always say dig deeper, take more time to really reflect, to help you with that. And so if you ever get stumped on that piece, let's say you're I answered all the prompts, I'm only on 2 pages, you can always go ahead and send it to me, and we can look at it together. Okay, so what really this project looks like is the self-reflection paper goes over what are your experiences growing up. So for example, first prompt, as a child, how did your parents or guardians expect you to behave at school, at home, and in the community? And then you would give an example. And then let's see, the next one. As a student in school, did you get in trouble or not get in trouble for rule breaking, obedience, social issues, etc.? Give at least one example. So you're going to go through these prompts and really reflect on kind of your experiences and how they have impacted, right here, how you treat children. And you're going to see, do you feel like your upbringing strengthened or weakened your personal development of these 6 life skills? And these are the ones we learn about in the class. And you might see wow, I actually kind of have a deficit in my attachment and I struggle there. I struggle with self-regulation. And you might see those are weak spots for you and you'd like to grow in those, not only to help yourself, of course, but also to help teach them and help children with them as well. And then you would pick 2 of those life skills and you would write your literature review on them. And so I know sometimes some of you might have written a literature review and some of you haven't. And so some of the weekly work you'll be doing leading up to the literature review will be learning how to write a literature review. Okay, so you can kind of take that stress off you. And so for the literature review itself, I have some tips here for you. But really, I really want you to run with it. And so you're going to pick your 2 life skills, and I really want you to kind of start your research and see what stands out to you, what you find interesting, or what, maybe there's a subtopic on it, a specific topic you'd like to learn in attachment. Maybe it's the anxious attachment in children and how that shows up and how you can help that children with that. So if you guys need help here, again, please reach out. And then your part 3 is a PowerPoint presentation. And then this is where you can kind of say, hey guys, look at everything I learned. And so the PowerPoint presentation is, I want you guys to go deeper than the kind of just the basic summary of the life skills. So I know I have here a brief summary. I'm going to change the language and update your syllabus. I want you to talk about what research you found, because then it makes it different, right? So if 15 of you guys pick attachment, we're going to hear the same definitions over and over again. And by this point in the semester, we know the definition. And so I really would love for you guys to report on what you learned in your part 2 of the project. Okay. And then with those 2 that you have already selected, you're now going to be applying it. And so these can be, with children. Ideally, you're about 4 years old. And so one of the applications will be, it can be an activity, and then one needs to be how you are modifying the actual physical classroom environment. So what are you changing actually in the classroom? And so you guys can do, let's say you already have access to children, and if you get approval by the parents, this can even be like kids in your family. You can do an activity with them and you can film it and then put it in your PowerPoint. I think those are the most interesting and the most you can learn from. If you have absolutely no availability to children, you can also take pictures from the internet. Just make sure you cite them, or use a YouTube video. But I would say major brownie points to the ones who do use actual footage of themselves completing these applications with children. Another way you can do it is in your PowerPoint itself. You have a video showing us how you would be teaching the skill to children. And so you'd be basically like teaching us as if we're the child. Okay. So when these get closer, all these parts of the project, I will go over them more in depth. And then here's your rubric for those assignments. It's one rubric for all of them. We break it down. Okay. Went over that. So let me just make sure I went over everything. And that's about it for the week. And then lastly, we have a discussion board post where you guys will be, it's available for you to ask questions or talk amongst each other. And then I'll pop in here and there, but I don't check it regularly. So this is really for you guys. So please use it when you need it. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.